One doctor commits suicide in the US every single day, the highest among any other profession. This is the data from the study that was done in 2018 and published in WebMD. After the global pandemic in 2020 and the increase in the workload, this data has furthermore increased. And no, I'm not demotivating you, I'm just telling you some facts. I'm telling you about the dark side of MBBS. Hello everyone, this is Sagar Panta, currently a third year MBBS student studying in UCMS Vairava. And if you are a medical aspirant or someone who is thinking to become a doctor, then this video is for you. Because MBBS may not be what you have been thinking it to be like. So far, you must have been one of the brightest students of your class. Scoring above 90% is probably not that big of a deal for you. So you decide to become a doctor because that's what a bright student do, right? Or at least that's what the society makes you think, makes you feel that you should become a doctor. You then join a medical institute for the entrance preparation, and probably for the first time in life, you feel difficulty in solving the problems. You could prepare for an entire subject just a day or two before exam, for your board exam, but now, even completing just a single chapter in a day becomes a difficult task. Maybe you aren't that smart, you say this to yourself. You give weekly test, but your mark doesn't seem to improve by that much. How can this happen? You ask it to yourself. Maybe you aren't studying enough, and then you start studying harder. You get away from your friends, sometimes from your families, and then just focus, stay dedicated to your study. And finally, the day of exam comes. You check the result, and you are really shocked to see the result. There are a bunch of students with the same mark but different ranks, and you are not on the top. You pass the exam, but you did not get that scholarship that you wanted. And because you come from a middle class family, asking to pay for the medical education is a little bit too much to ask for. So you decide to take a drop. But most students, even after taking a drop year, do not get the scholarship. And then that's where the trouble begins. You don't know if medicine is the right field for you. Maybe you have not given enough time to think about this earlier, and now you are just confused. But at this point, choosing any other field other than MBBS feels like a failure. That's what the business model of entrance preparing institute have installed in our brain. Your parents also become ready to pay for your education because after all they have seen you working so hard, and even if that means selling a piece of land for them, they will do that because all they care about is you, they love you. But some students, even here, after taking one drop year, they still take another drop year because they really want that scholarship seat. And at this point, getting that scholarship is not a dream. Now it becomes a matter of ego. Now you are really more focused on the destination and not on the journey. And that's where the trouble begins. You are so much focused about the destination, you forget about enjoying the process. You forget about enjoying the journey. And when you look around, you see that your friends have already left ahead and you are the one who is falling behind. Okay, you work hard enough and finally it brings some fruitful result. You now get admitted into the medical college. You are a new hero in the town and people start calling you doctor even before your study has started. The way people look at you is different now. But then you enter the medical college and there you see that your seniors and doctors who are far ahead of you and you feel like you are nobody. Even in your own batch, there are a bunch of students who have achieved the same as you or someone who has achieved even far greater than you. And you feel like you are just someone who has no any idea what he is doing here. The day passes by. Finally, the exam comes in your MBBS, and for the first time in life, you test failure. You fail in the very first exam that you give after joining the MBBS. And now, this is where the problem begins. You start thinking, probably medicine is not right for me. Maybe what you thought about yourself is not true. Maybe you are not that special. Because you test failure for the first time in life, there are two types of people now here. One who just take it as a simple part of life, phase of life, and then move on. But then there are other people who just can't bear it, for whom this is really unbearable, and then to make themselves happy, they get into addiction, like smoking, alcohol. This is pretty, I didn't say it's normalized, but a lot of people in, not only in medical college, throughout the different streams, it is kind of normalized. And once they get into addiction, this vicious cycle begins. Failure, addiction, failure, addiction, failure, addiction. This vicious cycle just keeps continuing and then it becomes further more difficult for you to pass the exam. Yes, in theory, in paper, ragging does not exist. And in reality, it has decreased. It's far less than what it used to be in the past. But still, it exists and the news of ragging still comes once in a while in the media. And this adds salt to the injury. I don't know why ragging is normalized, but It exists, it occurs, and yeah, that is one dark side of medical college. The amount of information that you have to understand, memorize in the first 2 years of medical school itself, the first 2 years, the basic years, is just so vast that it requires some level of dedication for you to pass those exams. And for this, sometimes you have to stay away from your friends. Sometimes you just have to give so much time into the study that you, little by little, day by day, feel disconnected, stay disconnected from your friends. Not because you want to, but because you have to. And this is especially true if your friends are from other stream other than the medicine. And sometimes it's really dark, you know. You don't find a soul to talk to at 2 a.m. when you are alone in a room with a human skeleton in front of you. MBBS is a marathon. Although on paper it's a 5.5 years course, but in reality it takes 6 to 7 years for you to pass the MBBS and then complete your internship. By this time, your friends from other stream would have already graduated, and probably some of them would have been settled and earning good amount of income. And you feel like you did something wrong by joining medicine because you were the smarter person than them. But now they are well settled, and now you are here just working double than them and earning far less than them, and still preparing for the another exam, right? Because MBBS is just MBBS. MBBS is necessary, but it's not enough. It's only a basic requirement for you to become a doctor. Then you have to do MD or MS, which takes almost 3 years, and then after that you have to do the super specialization. So after class 12, it takes you almost solely 12 years at least to become a specialist doctor. And this is true if you pass all the exam in the first attempt itself. And for most students, for most people, that is not the case. They at least take 1 to 2 year drop in at least one of the phases of their medical journey. So it's more than 12 years. Well, I'm just a medical student and probably I'm not the right person to talk about this. But I've seen intern doctors working really hard and really long. There is heavy internship. Well, working long hours in internship is not a big deal because by working, that's how you learn. But sometimes you have to learn on the cost of your food, at the cost of your sleep, and that's where the real problem is. Otherwise, working long hours probably wouldn't have made a big deal because that's how you learn. But you sacrifice your sleep, you sacrifice your food, and the return that you get, at the stipend you get, well, I don't even want to talk about that. You ask it to one of the intern doctor you know, you will get the answer. Well, the dark side gets darker as you dig deeper. But every coin has two sides, and the brighter side of MBBS is far more brighter. I made this video just to let you know that MBBS may not be what you have been thinking it to be like. It's different. Maybe it's different. Maybe you don't want to join MBBS, or maybe you want to pursue MBBS after knowing this. My point is, it takes more than just 5.5 years to become a doctor. It's a long journey with no end and limit to learning. But you can be sad because you have to learn throughout your life, or you can be happy because you get to learn throughout your life. It's your mindset that makes the difference. But one thing that I would like to say is, if money is your main goal, then don't join MBBS, because there are far more easier ways to earn money than joining MBBS. Trust me, there are far more easier ways. The doctor who just saw you for 5 minutes and charged it on has tons of sleepless nights in the past you don't know of. So before choosing this noble and humble profession, ask this to yourself: am I willing to do this for the rest of my life? Are my visions greater than these hurdles? If your answer is yes, then welcome to the medical field. Not everyone gets to experience all of this. Find the right balance, and that's the only way the dark side becomes the brighter side. Not only in MBBS, in life as a whole. Thank you.